This is BMI Redefined with Jen and Mo.
All right.
Good morning, good day, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to BMI Redefined with
Jen.
and Mo. We are so excited you are back with us. We're so thankful to all of our listeners, all our subscribers, everyone who's listening to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, we have an amazing, energetic guest. Her name is Julia Rector. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Hi. And Jen is going to be introducing her to us today. Jen, it's all yours.
Okay, we are so excited to have Julia Rector as our guest today. She is a nursing student here in the St. Louis area, and she is going to talk with us about what it's like being in nursing school in college during this pandemic that we're all experiencing. Julia, welcome.
Hi, glad to be here.
Great.
Glad you're here.
So let's kind of talk about what a typical day looks like for you. I know it's different now. So what was your typical day like in school, and what is it now?
So nursing school is about like a 40-hour-a-week job. They tell us all to quit our jobs as soon as we get in. Like during the orientation, they're like, welcome to the end of your life. We have about 3 days that we're in the hospital for 8 hours. And then the 2 other days are lectures from around 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Wow.
So the pandemic changed all that to Zoom University, online classes.
Okay.
But our clinicals are up in the air because they've never had this happen before. So we've had these online replacements with robotic patients online. We use something called Shadow Health, where you like type to the patient and it's like a cartoon.
Okay.
And it tells you what's wrong with it. And it's very interesting, but that's what our clinicals are now. And then we do a lot of research to make up for it.
Okay. Wow.
Totally
different.
You have to think that day-to-day energy, though, is not there.
Yeah.
That's probably what's really missing a lot, right?
Yeah, it's very energizing to be around people and being stuck in, I used to like work from my bed. It's very hard to not go mentally insane.
Well, and I think that's a lot of what's happening too, seriously.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And just kind of thinking about, I remember you telling me stories about, driving to school or whatever. Do you have to get like in some different kind of mindset now than you did before?
Yeah, so I talked with her about before the pandemic, I would like be in my car ready for clinicals, and I would be telling myself, you could be holding hands with someone that's dying today, or someone could be having a baby today. It's like either the worst day or the best day of their life. And now it's kind of like, I don't get that interaction with patients. The thing that keeps me going is the people that I take care of, and now I don't get exposure to them. So it's really has been hard to be away from actual patients.
And what year are you in nursing right now?
I'm a junior, so I have 2 semesters left.
Okay. Wow. It will go fast.
Yeah, it already has.
Right. Yeah. But like I said, that energy flow, and I think we were talking too about just that drive to work and that drive back home. As you're driving to work, you're getting mentally ready, mentally prepared, and then you're in the workspace, and then in the drive home, you kind of decompress a little bit and you get ready for home. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so the drive home is always like either filled with tears, because after my psych rotation, I would go in my car and cry because it's really sad to see 4-year-olds that have been hurt, and our med surge clinical, most of my patients were dying, so that's always hard. And then my OB clinical actually got cut short, which is what I want to do, so that's disappointing. But yeah, my drive home was always just releasing. I would just play music, or I would call my friends that were in my clinical to decompress and talk about our feelings, because it's really difficult to become a caretaker, and they say it takes years to be able to use that drive home as a complete release. You're always going to kind of be thinking about it. But now that we don't have that exposure, I can't help but think I'm losing that practice of separating my school life from home and having that separation. I think a lot of people are losing work-life balance. Because nursing school really is more like a job, because you are technically employed by the hospital for free,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's that. And that is a huge thing that we have been talking about with many of our guests, right, Jen, about that home balance, homework balance. It's for those who work from home, they've already figured out that balance. Well, most people. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know about you, Jen, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm still working on it.
But sometimes it's nice to have that place to go to, and that place to feel that you're really doing your job and you're giving, and it's also being a nurse, I'm sure, like, I'm a musician, you're a personal trainer, Jen. It's our passion, right? Can you talk a little bit about that, about how nursing is not just a job, but it's also a passion?
Yeah, it never feels like work. It is hard work, but I love the fact that my job is completely physical, emotional, spiritual, educational. I'm a teacher, I'm a friend, I'm an advocate, I'm a caretaker. Sometimes I'm a hairstylist. I mean, we we get to do so many things. It's kind of like being an employed, paid mother in a way.
Yeah, right.
Not that male nurses are not a thing, or a father, I guess, but being a nurse is really what it sounds like. You're nursing the sick, you're nursing the well, you're nursing mothers giving birth. I mean, there's all kinds of patients you're seeing. Some patients might not even have a physical problem. They might be in for psych issues. So you wear many different hats, and you have to be able to put them on in a moment's notice, or wear many hats on your head at once. But I love that. I'm never just sitting and thinking, I'm so bored today, I don't know what I should be doing. I mean, you have 6 patients when you have a full load. There's always something to be doing. And I love being completely exhausted at the end of each shift. I love it. It's like the biggest workout of your life. And that drives me, it's just, I wish I was in clinicals right now, because as much as I complain about them, she probably hears the complaint of being so exhausted, but she sees me on a Friday night, I come over and I'm like, I can't keep my eyes open.
But it's a good tired.
It's like a good workout, but I just don't like working out, and she knows that.
I know. I'm with you on that. She kicks my butt, man. She kicks my butt. I've been trying to avoid her.
Yeah. The whole pandemic thing, I think Mo is like secretly.
I'm like, I don't have to work out with Jenny. Well,
she goes, I'll hide under a blanket every time she
I know, right?
I'm like, please, no more. I mean, it's just so much I'm adjusting to, but I really do need to work out. I think it would help.
I know. Once this is lifted,
once this is lifted, you're going to be lifting all right.
I know, right? Lifting myself up from the couch with a fork in my hand.
We'll take this
anyway. I know. So, Julia, what are the primary differences do you feel in training and your curricula, experiences currently? We talked a little bit about the simulated labs and things like that, but what are some other challenges?
So connectivity issues, we've had lectures that we've had to stop because they, Zoom shuts down, or whatever we're using shuts down. A lot of nursing students are using the same software right now. So, I mean, there's very few resources for completely online nursing school, because most of it is hands-on, instructor-based learning. Every clinical is different based on instructor. Yeah, this is unprecedented. We don't really know what we're doing, I don't think.
Yeah, well.
I think my university's handled it pretty well, because we are a very online integrated university, but other universities are not.
Right.
So, you know, they can't assume every student has a laptop. I know that sounds strange in this day and age, but if they don't hand them out, they can't expect people to be able to do online only coursework.
Well, it's just like a high school student as well.
Yes.
Not everybody has a laptop to use. And same with elementary school. No, not every child has an iPad or some sort of a pad to use. So I don't think that that is an unwarranted thing to say, that these, universities are also scrambling,
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
figure it out.
I mean, every day we get a different update of what's going on. And then the nursing associations are trying to figure out how to still, you know, for better lack of better words, crank out nurses, because that's what we need right now. To halt a nurse's education is probably the worst thing we could do for our economy. So they're trying to figure out how to make sure we're qualified, we know what we're doing, we're safe, but that we're still moving on, because we are such an online, not non-online, in-person profession. It's kind of like learning to be a car mechanic, but giving you a virtual car and
Yeah.
saying, you know, how are we going to learn how to fix
Right.
a car? I mean, a human is like a car, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Right. Exactly. Well, and I would also say it's very similar to teaching voice lessons
Oh,
online.
yeah.
I mean, I want to see my student in front of me so I can figure out what's going on. But seeing it from afar and hearing it, it's totally different, especially with the acoustics and everything. So it online teaching is very challenging, and the teachers who are doing it, they have a challenge in front of them as well.
Yeah, it's been a period of grace and understanding. You were saying that the other day.
Yeah, that's what one of our guests was talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
just there are professors saying, you know, I'm human, you're human, let's push back some dates, let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
this, let's cancel some assignments that seem impossible now. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but we're going to have to see what the new requirements are for nursing students. I mean, they're scrambling to figure out what counts, what doesn't count, what
Yeah.
to do about examinations. We have a lot of standardized tests.
That's right.
Right.
But yeah, so it's a lot of unknown.
Yeah. And, and just thinking about all of the stress that's going on with this too, we, this pandemic is really going to change your nursing profession,
Oh yeah,
you know,
forever.
forever. Well,
My,
and most professions, right? But
yeah. My sisters are doctors. They're talking about how they think that this will show the capabilities of virtual online checkups.
yeah,
Instead of having to go every time something happens
right.
to the doctor, you know, we might
Yeah.
see more of a push for virtual 10-minute check-ins.
Which I think is great.
Yeah, that is great. That's a positive aspect. And I think that in the future, nursing schools will be able to quickly switch to online mode if anything ever happens again, because the likelihood of something like this happening again is probably higher now. I mean,
Yeah.
it just
I mean,
is what it is.
Yeah.
right. And there will be a resurgence of COVID-19
Oh, yes.
coming. So this is the first wave. So yeah, Jen, do you have any questions? Or?
I was just kind of thinking when we talked to an elementary school principal
Mhm.
the other day, and I had posed the question, you prepare, the crisis response team and the manuals and all that stuff you do to prepare for some type of catastrophe happening. I said, how had that preparation been utilized during this time? And he said, actually, they're writing the manual right now,
Yeah.
because any preparation,
Yeah,
can
that's
you
right.
speak to that a
That's
bit?
right.
I mean, I know you guys have safety classes and all that, but is anything like what's going on right now?
You know, I can't fully speak to it because I'm not, I'm not in the front lines. You know, we're not allowed in yet. But I think that in the future, if there is the manual for nursing students, we might be utilizing those front lines. If they know what counts and, who is ready to be on the floor, I think they might push us to go be techs during the pandemic and have that count as our hours.
Some of your schooling.
Yeah, but there's just no precedent for it. So how can they send us out there and just send us to the hospital right now?
Right.
But yeah, I know in Italy, some nursing students were being pushed out as nurses.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I saw that.
Under advisory, but they had some kind of protocol and just, sent out their troops.
Yeah.
But I think that they're writing the manual, and when this happens again, maybe nursing students will be just pushed out to the front lines, and to learn, because that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Just like a new
Learn
soldier
by doing.
battle.
Yeah. It really is. This is the modern day war against an invisible illness,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We were just talking about that here with actually my 8th grader, who's very insightful, and he's like, when World War II happened, because he's really into World War II. When World War II happened, we kind of knew where the bombs were coming. With this, we don't know where it's at, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty insightful, my friend.
Yeah. Kind of like a minefield.
Yes.
We don't know where to step.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. So, but anyway. Well, so now so you're done in May, correct?
Next May, yeah.
Next, yeah, but you're done this semester?
No.
Or do you go in the summer?
Yes, I'm done for the semester on April 30th, yeah.
Okay. And then do you have the summer off, or do you go to
Yes.
school during summer? Okay.
I have the summer off.
Okay. So then you'll be ready for next year, for the fall, which no one really knows what it looks like.
Yes.
So, that's a little scary thing. You'll just have to look for the directives of your university. And how does that make you feel? Does that stress you out a little bit? How does that make you feel?
I'm
Not
just kind
knowing.
of going with it. I mean, this is completely out of my control, and we're adaptable. Nurses are adaptable. That's the
Good.
one thing our instructors always say is be adaptable. So, okay, we'll be adaptable.
Good.
I mean, I'm sure lots of nursing students are like, what am I
Right.
supposed to do? Because I know a lot of my friends, their final examination got canceled. Their NCLEX, the thing that you prepare for 4 semesters, it got canceled. They're like, when am I supposed to do it? So they're having to reschedule everybody and figure out how to change their testing environment, rewriting the manual. So I'm just waiting for my instructions.
Well, I think that's good. I think that's, that's a good way to look at it, and a good place to be in, because you're right. You have no control over it. And I think that's something that our listeners really need to understand during this time, is that really there is no control over anything. If you're a control freak, you better let it go, because this will put you in the dumps.
And I think that, I might have been more of a control freak before nursing school started, but I learned that no matter how many things I did correctly in the correct order, correct protocols, correct safety, something still always happens. I mean, for example, like I was getting a patient out of bed and they got a bruise, on their leg. And I'm like, how? Like I did exactly what we're supposed to do. Turns out the chair was too close. It was all a learning experience. I had to stop and ask for grace and, go get the nurse and make sure it was okay, that it's documented. There's so many steps you have to do. And then I had to get my educational instructor that was there and have her look at it and see like what my technique was wrong. No matter how much you read in the textbook, how much I would, watch the videos, prepare, something always happens in clinicals. And this is just kind of like blown up out of proportion, but I've learned to be adaptable. I used to be more of a control freak, but every nurse knows that no matter what you do, something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. I think we can all say that in all of our professions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because nobody expected this.
No, totally unprecedented.
This is something like out of a dystopian novel.
Movie.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. A movie, right? Like a bad movie,
Yeah.
So wait, I think there was a movie that was made.
I think so.
Yeah, there was. It's kind of crazy.
Contagion and different things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a scary situation right now, and it's a frustrating situation, but we'll get through it. We always do.
You kind of just have to focus on the positives. Like her and I have been, cleaning out the basement.
Right.
Rearranging. My mom got some projects done. Get to see my dad more.
Right.
I get to see my fiance. He's home from school.
Right.
I'm just focusing on the positives because it's easy to just sit and say, woe is me.
Right. Exactly. So good. Well, Jen, do you have anything else that you'd like to talk to Julia about?
has been phenomenal, Julia. I'm so excited
Yay.
that you came
Yeah.
to talk with
Did
us.
I get an A?
You get an A plus
A.
with stars.
I would like to say to any nursing student listening out there, you can do it. Calm down.
Right.
And
Just
assess
take
your
one day at a
patient.
time. Right?
Assess
Say
your
that
patient.
again.
And assess your patient.
Right.
That's always the answer to the questions on the NCLEX is assess your patient.
Oh, got it.
No,
Got
so
it.
assess yourself. Check yourself and make sure you're okay instead of worrying about every other person right now. You know, you are going through a huge thing. Your life has been flipped upside down, so make sure you're okay and then worry about everything else. That's my biggest advice. Assess your patient.
Yeah, that's really, that's the biggest advice for a lot of people is to, check in with yourself and make sure you're doing okay, because if you're doing okay, then you can be okay for others.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
very good.
Well, this has
Very
been good.
This is been
Yay!
fun.
Do you know what? Okay, so talking about shifts and everything, Andy worked the 2 a.m. to the 10 a.m. shift today, and he just came home with
Starbucks coffee?
and it's waiting for me out there.
So we know where you're headed.
Yeah. After I let the dogs out. Who?
Yes.
Who let the dogs out? Ooh, that sounds really good.
What does?
Starbucks.
Oh, or the dogs. Oh, okay. I do have 2 hot dogs.
We have dogs.
You've seen them. They scared you, Julia.
Yeah, they did. I'm scared of dogs.
That's okay. You can be afraid of dogs.
It's my fatal flaw.
It's
The
all
puppy dogs
good.
love you.
It's funny because dogs love me.
They flock
Okay,
to
so
her.
hold on. So can I tell you something? I know that because I'm not I love animals all the way around, but I'm just not a cat person. I'm more of a dog person.
Yes.
And I love kitties. Like, I think they're just so cute and little paws and everything. And we had cats at home and everything, but they always loved everybody else. They never really it's just something with cats. So, but who's the first person the cat climbs on?
Yeah.
When I would go home. And I'd be like, what people? What is this? So
They find the one person that needs to be converted.
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That
this is
happened to me. I was
terrible.
in the barn the other day with Kristen, her horse, and Pickles the cat climbed up in my lap and sat there for 20 minutes.
See?
And everybody's saying, well, he hadn't had a lot of people interaction lately. So I was just scratching his neck and petting him. And
Yeah, see? And are you more of a dog? You're more of a dog person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like cats. They're fine. But he just climbed right up in my lap.
And her daughter's horse thinks I'm his girlfriend.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
And I was horrified of horses. I'm just scared of animals in general. I don't know what my deal is. But, I mean, he's converted me. We're in a relationship.
Yes. Mario
once
loves her.
Just call him Mr. Ed.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's bad.
This took a weird turn.
Yeah, really weird turn. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, Julia, for being here with us today.
Yes.
We are so excited that you got to share your story today as a nursing student, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
We are so proud of you and happy that you are going to be joining this wonderful profession, because we need people like you.
Yes,
Thank you.
So, thank you. Okay, Jen, we'll see you later.
Okay.
Go get my coffee.
All right.
Okay.
See you, Bo.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.